श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ शरद बाबू जी की जय।
సాయి పథంలో మన నిత్య ప్రార్థన. ఇది భగవాన్ శ్రీ రమణ మహర్షి రచించిన అరుణాచల పదికానికి శ్రీ సాయిపరమైన స్వేచ్ఛానుసరణము. శ్రీ భగవాన్ దివ్యాంతరంగము నుండి స్వేచ్ఛగా ప్రవహించిన ఈ స్తోత్రము భక్తి జ్ఞాన వైరాగ్యాల త్రివేణీ సంగమం. మహర్షి ప్రోక్తమైన ఈ ప్రార్థన మహిమాన్వితమైన వేదవాక్యే. ఇది మామూలు ప్రార్థనల వంటిది కాదు. ఇందులోని భావాన్ని హృదయగతం చేసుకొని శ్రద్ధగా చదివితే దీని ప్రభావము అసాధారణంగానే ఉంటుంది. శ్రీ సాయి భక్తులకు శ్రీ సాయియే సకల దేవతా స్వరూపము, ఉపాసనా దైవము. సాయి భక్తులు ప్రతినిత్యం ఈ ప్రార్థనను భావస్ఫూర్తితో చదవడం వారి సాధనకెంతో దోహదం చేసి శ్రీ సాయినాథుని అనుగ్రహానికి పాత్రులను చేయగలదు. ఈ ప్రార్థనలో ప్రకటమైన మహోన్నత భావం సామాన్య భక్తునికి ఉంటుందా? అది లేకుండా అనుకరణలా అలా ప్రార్థన చేయడం ఎంతవరకు సముచితం అనే సందేహం కొంతమందికి కలుగవచ్చు. నిజమే. అయితే అట్టి ఉన్నత భావాలను మనకు చేతనైనంత ఆర్తి ఆర్ద్రతలతో తిరిగి తిరిగి మననం చేసుకోవడం ద్వారా అట్టి భావము సంస్కారము క్రమంగా మనలోనూ హృదయగతమై పై ప్రార్థన సార్థకం కాగలదు. శ్రీ సాయినాథుని శరద్ బాబూజీ. ఓ సాయినాథ, ఏమి లాభం పొందుదామని సంసార సాగరంలో మునుగుతూ తేలుతూ నాశనమైపోతున్న అసంఖ్యాక జీవుల్లో ఎందుకు ఎవరికీ కొరగాని ఈ దీనుణ్ణి గురిచూచి పట్టుకొని ఉద్ధరించి నీ పాదాల దగ్గర నిలుపుకొన్నావు. ఓ కరుణా సముద్రుడా, నీ పేరు ఎత్తటానికి కూడా అర్హత లేనివాణ్ణి. అవధిలేని నీ కరుణను స్మరించి సిగ్గుతో కృంగిపోతున్నాను. బాబా, నన్ను దీవించు. ఓ సాయినాథ, నీ ముఖమే ఎరుగని నన్ను ఒక్కసారిగా మింగివేయాలని తలచి నీ అనుగ్రహ పాశంతో నా కంఠాన్ని బిగించి బలవంతంగా నీ పాదాల వద్దకు ఈడ్చుకుని వచ్చావు. మరి ఇదేమిటి? నన్ను ఒక్కసారిగా మింగివేయకుండా కొంచెం కొంచెంగా తింటున్నావేమిటి? ఇట్లా చావు బ్రతుకుల మధ్య చిత్రహింస చేయడం నీకు న్యాయమేనా? నేను గత జన్మల్లో ఎంత చేశాను? ఆ ఘోరమైన దురంతాన్ని ఈ దుర్బలుడు ఎదిరించగలడా? ఓ సాయినాథ, ఒక్కటే నా ప్రార్థన. ఈ నా అహాన్ని ఈ క్షణాన్ని పూర్తిగా మింగివేయి. అప్పుడు నేను మృత్యువును అధిగమించి ఒక్కడినే చిరంజీవిగా వెలుగుతూ ఉంటాను. ఓ నా తండ్రి, నేను చిరకాలం నుండి కమలం దగ్గర కప్పలాగా నీ పాదాల దగ్గర ఉన్నాను. తుమ్మెద మాదిరి నీ జ్ఞానమధువును ఆస్వాదించే భాగ్యాన్ని నాకు కలుగచేయి. అట్లా అనుగ్రహించకపోయావా? నిన్నే వజ్రశిలగా చేసుకొని అంతమై శాశ్వతంగా నీ అపకీర్తి స్తంభంగా నిలుస్తాను. ఈ అపఖ్యాతి నుండి తప్పుకోవడానికైనా నన్ను అనుగ్రహించు సాయినాథ. నీ జ్ఞాన కాంతులు సకలాన్ని ప్రకాశింపచేస్తున్నాయి. గాలి కంటే సూక్ష్మమైన నీ అనుగ్రహం అంతటా వ్యాపించి ఉంది. ఓ సాయినాథ, నేను ఈ ప్రపంచంలో సగర్వంగా తలెత్తి తిరగకుండా నా బుద్ధిని అపహరించి ఎందుకూ కొరగాని మొద్దును చేసి వదిలావు. పోనీ నీ జ్ఞానాన్నన్నా ఇచ్చావా అంటే అది లేదు. ఇట్లా రెంటికీ కాకుండా చేశావు. ఈ స్థితి భరించరానిది. ఎవరి వినోదానికై ఇట్లా చేస్తున్నావు? నాకు ఈ ప్రపంచపు పిచ్చిని వదల్చి నీ పాదాలు పట్టుకునే పిచ్చిని అనుగ్రహించు ఓ సాయినాథ. నీవు ప్రపంచ ఉన్మాదానికి విరుగుడైన తిరుగులేని ఆత్మరూపంతో ఉన్న దివ్యౌషధానివి. ఓ సర్వోత్కృష్టుడా, నీ పాదాలు పట్టుకుంటే సమస్త బంధాలు తెగిపోయి ముక్తులమవుతాం అనే జ్ఞానం లేని అసంఖ్యాకుల్లో నేను అగ్రేసరుణ్ణి. నేను కర్తను అని అహంకరిస్తున్న ఈ అహాన్ని నీ అనుగ్రహ జ్వాలలతో బుగ్గి చేయి. నా భారాన్ని స్వీకరించు. సమస్తాన్ని ధరిస్తూ భరిస్తున్న ఓ విశ్వగర్భుడా, నీకు వేరే భారమెక్కడిది? నీ నుండి విడివడి ప్రపంచ భారాలను నెత్తిన పెట్టుకుని కృంగిపోతున్న నన్ను ఉద్ధరించు ఓ కృపాస్వామి పరాత్పరా బాబా. ఒక్క క్షణం ఆలస్యం లేకుండా నన్ను నీ పాదపద్మాల దగ్గరకు చేర్చుకో. అద్వితీయుడవైన ఓ పరిశుద్ధుడా, ఆకాశం, గాలి, అగ్ని, నీరు, భూమి, అనంతమైన జీవకోటి, చరాచర సృష్టి నీవు తప్ప అన్యం కాదు. అయినప్పుడు నేను మాత్రం నీకంటే భిన్నంగా ఎట్లా ఉండగలను? సకల జీవుల హృదయాలలో నీవు ఒక్కడివై నిండి వెలుగుతున్నావు. హృదయం నుండి నేను అని తలెత్తుతున్న వీడు ఎవడు? నీ కరుణతో వీడి నెత్తిమీద నీ పాదాన్ని ఉంచి మూలంలోనికి, అంటే నీలోనికి త్రొక్కి వేసి పూర్ణంగా నీలో కలిపివేసుకో ఓ సాయినాథ. ఓ నా తండ్రి, దొంగ మాదిరి నన్ను బలవంతంగా నీ భక్తి పాశంతో కట్టివేసి ఎంతో కాలం నుండి నీ పాదాల దగ్గర నిలబెట్టావు. మరి నీ అనుగ్రహంతో నన్ను శిక్షించవేమిటి? ఎందుకు నన్ను తీసుకుని వచ్చినట్లు? నీ తత్వమేమిటో నాకు అర్థం కావడం లేదు. నీ విరహాగ్ని నన్ను దహించి వేస్తోంది. విలవిల్లాడిపోతున్నాను. ఈ నా అవస్థ చూచి అందరూ నీ ఒక వట్టి రాతి బొమ్మ అంటున్నారు. నేనెటూ చెప్పలేక మూగపోతున్నాను. తల వాలిపోతోంది. ఇట్లా నేను వలలో పడ్డ జింకలా నాశనం కావలసిందేనా? ఓ నా తండ్రి, నన్ను నీలో కలుపుకో. నేను ఇది కావాలి అది కావాలి అని అడగదలచలేదు బావా. పోనీ నీ ఇచ్ఛయే నెరవేరుగాక. నిన్ను తెలుసుకోవడానికి నేనెంతటివాణ్ణి? నేనెవడను? నిన్ను తెలుసుకోగానే నేను పోయి నీవే నేనుగా అనుభూతమవుతున్నావు. సాధు రూపంలో ఉన్న ఓ ప్రేమస్వరూపుడా, ఎవరికీ ఎందుకూ కొరగాని నన్ను అకారణ ప్రేమతో నీవాణ్ణిగా చేసుకొన్నావు. ఇప్పుడు నీవు నిజస్వరూపంతో ప్రత్యక్షమై నన్ను నీలో కలుపుకోకపోతే నేను నిలవగలనా? నీ విరహాగ్ని, ఈ లోకపు చీకటి, దుఃఖము నన్ను కాల్చుక తింటున్నాయి. నేను ఇట్లా అంతం కావలసిందేనా? సూర్యదర్శనం లేకుండా పద్మం వికసిస్తుందా? ఓ సూర్యసూర్యుడా, నీ అనుగ్రహపు వెలుగును కృమ్మరించి ఈ దీనుణ్ణి ఉద్ధరించు. ఓ ప్రేమస్వరూప సాయినాథ, నీవెవరో కూడా ఎరుగని నన్ను కరుణతో వశపర్చుకొని ప్రేమలేని నా హృదయంలో నీ ప్రేమను రగిల్చి ఇప్పుడు వదిలివేశావు. నీవు నన్ను ప్రేమతో నింపి అక్కున చేర్చుకోవేమిటి? విరహాగ్ని నన్ను దహించి వేస్తోంది. మైనంలా కరిగిపోతున్నాను. ఇట్లా నీ బిడ్డ అంతం కావలసిందేనా? అటువంటప్పుడు నీ భక్తిని నాలో ఎందుకు మేల్కొల్పాలి? ఓ నా తండ్రి, నేను నీ కోసం అంతం కావడమే నీకు వినోదమైతే అట్లాగే కాని అదే నాకు 10,000. ప్రేమ నుండి ఉద్భవిస్తున్న ఓ ఆనందమూర్తి, భక్తుల హృదయాలలో పొంగుతున్న ఓ అమృత ఝరి, శరణార్థుల స్వర్గధామమా, నీ సంకల్పమే నెరవేరుగాక. ఓ సమస్త జీవుల్లారా, నేనొక క్రొత్త దివ్య అయస్కాంతాన్ని కనుగొన్నాను. అదేమి అద్భుతమో! దీన్ని ఒక్కసారి స్మరించారా? ఇది మనలను ఒలగొని సకలేంద్రియ చలనాన్ని ఆపి తనకు అభిముఖంగా త్రిప్పి లోపలికి ఈడ్చి పక్వం చేసి మింగివేసి తన మాదిరి మరో అయస్కాంతంగా మార్చివేస్తుంది. తస్మాత్ జాగ్రత్త. ఈ జీవహంతకుడు ఎక్కడో లేడు, మన హృదయాలలోనే పొంచి ఉన్నాడు. ఆయన ఎవరో కాదు, సద్గురు సాయినాథుడే. నా మాదిరిగా ఎందరూ నిన్ను భగవంతుడు అని భావించి పూర్ణాహుతైపోయారు. ఓ జీవభార వాహకుల్లారా, బ్రతుకు మీద రోసి ఆత్మహత్యకై తెగిస్తున్న నిరాశా జీవుల్లారా, మరణించడానికి అసాధారణమైన మందు మన చెంతనే ఉంది. దీని శక్తి పరమాద్భుతం. దీనిని ఒక్కసారి స్మరిస్తే చాలు, మనలను చంపకుండానే చంపుతుంది. ఆ శక్తి మరేదో కాదు, సాక్షాత్తు శ్రీ సాయినాథుడే. సాయి వంటి దైవంబు లేడోయి లేడోయి. ప్రజలందరి నోటా సాయి నామం పలకాలి. సర్వత్రా సాయి రూపం రంజిల్లాలి. ముజ్జగాలు సాయి మహిమతో ముప్పిరిగొనాలి. సాయి పదరవళులు మన హృదయ కుహరంలోని నిశ్శబ్ద నిషీధిలో ప్రతిధ్వనించాలి. ప్రణవనాద వీచికల్లా సాయి జ్ఞాన సౌరభాలు సర్వత్రా వ్యాపించాలి. ఆ సుజ్ఞాన సౌరభాల ఆస్వాదనలో మన మనసులు మత్తెక్కాలి. సాయి ప్రేమామృత ధారలు అంతటా నిరంతరం వర్షించాలి. ఆ ప్రేమామృత ధారలలో తడుస్తూ, ఆ జ్ఞాన సౌరభాల మత్తులో ఆనందంగా నర్తిస్తూ సాయి వంటి దైవంబు లేడోయి లేడోయి అని అందరూ ఏకకంఠంతో గానం చేయాలి. అదే నా ఆశ, ఆశయం, ఆకాంక్ష. అదొక మధుర స్వప్నం. ఆ స్వప్న సాఫల్యం కోసం శ్రీ సాయినాథుని అనన్య ప్రేమతో, ఆర్ద్రతతో ప్రార్థించటమే మనం చేయగలిగింది, చేయవలసింది. శ్రీ బాబూజీ.
श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ शरद बाबूजी की जय।
హ్యాపీగా బాబాను పట్టుకోండి. చక్కగా బాబాను చూపించాను, బాబా తత్వం ఏంటో చెప్పాను, పట్టుకోండి. మిమ్మల్ని ఎలా తీసుకుపోగలో నాకు తెలుసు. చక్కగా ఉండండి, మీకేం లోటు రాదు. అది చెప్తున్నాను కదా, నా ఆశ్చర్యన్స్ కూడా నేను ఇస్తున్నాను మీకెందుకు. చక్కగా బాబా మీద ఫోకస్ చేయండి. అయితే ఆశ్చర్యన్స్ మీరు నాకు ఇవ్వాలి. బాబా 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 అంతే, వేరే ఏది ఉండకూడదు మనసులో. లైఫ్ అంతా కూడాను మన జీవితంలో బాబా యొక్క సత్సంగం అనేటువంటిది ఒక భాగం కావటం కాదు, ఆయన యొక్క లీలా ప్రబోధానికి మన జీవితం ఒక భాగం కావాలి. అలా ప్రయత్నించండి, బాబా చూసుకుంటాం. హ్యాపీగా బాబాను పట్టుకోండి. చక్కగా బాబాను చూపించాను, బాబా తత్వం ఏంటో చెప్పాను, పట్టుకోండి. మిమ్మల్ని ఎలా తీసుకుపోగలో నాకు తెలుసు. చక్కగా ఉండండి, మీకేం లోటు రాదు. అది చెప్తున్నాను కదా, నా ఆశ్చర్యన్స్ కూడా నేను ఇస్తున్నాను మీకెందుకు. చక్కగా బాబా మీద ఫోకస్ చేయండి. అయితే ఆశ్చర్యన్స్ మీరు నాకు ఇవ్వాలి. బాబా 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 అంతే, వేరే ఏది ఉండకూడదు మనసులో. లైఫ్ అంతా కూడాను
श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। साई बाबा 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 साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा साई बाबा
Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba.
Guruji, I believe tonight is Purnima. I wanted to know, did Baba in Shirdi, was there any Purnima that Baba observed? Was that a holy day for him on any month? No. And Guru Purnima also? Not.
Guru Purnima is according to the Hindu tradition. Hindu and Buddhist traditions, it is the day of which marks the worship of a guru. Because this is all the guru tradition. He asked somebody to worship his guru. That's all. He didn't ask everybody that we should celebrate Guru Purnima. No. And people took it because Baba was the form of a Sadguru.
Right.
So that they started celebrating Guru Purnima. Indirectly, it was one that Baba suggested and recommended, but not directly. And that is not this Purnima, that is in July.
Right.
Didn't you say, Guruji, before that it originally started with this Purnima?
All this history, there is no what is the use. Actually, the tradition of the custom of Guru Purnima started with the Buddhists. Actually, this Vaishakha Purnima is the origin. After Shankaracharya's era, people started adopting many of the Buddhist customs, traditions and festivals into the Hindu tradition. And so the Guru Purnima came. And mainly it was, in the beginning it was meant for the monks. This Vaishakha Purnima is also for the monks. Because in those days, in the 6th century BC, in the rainy season it was not possible for the monks to go from village to village. The transportation was not there. So this is the beginning of the rainy season. So Buddha gave permission to the monks that for this rainy season people can stay at one place, they need not move. So they started on this Purnima to mark as a Purnima and worshipped and meditated on Buddha and started to live in a solitary seclusive life, completely in contemplation and meditation. Because they can't move out and then do this Buddhist teaching, the missionary work. Later it was adopted by the Hindus also, and they started, because they can't start in the same day, they started on another day. And then they want to find out some guru. And so in the Hindu tradition, Vyasa is the one that who is almost the figure, the guru figure, who has written Mahabharata, the Brahma Sutras, the Shashtadasa Puranas. So they said that Vyasa, let us worship Vyasa. And so they worship the Guru, the form of the Guru. And then they stay for 4 months without moving anywhere. Even now the Hindu monks, they have to start this is called Chaturmasya. 4 months in one place they have to stay, they should not move out. It's actually the festival of the monks. Later it went to the other common public also. Those who have a devotion to the Guru, that it is the day which marks the worship of the Guru. That is the history.
But I read in the text that this was the only festival that Baba asked his devotees to celebrate.
Because he didn't specify any festival, at least indirectly this is the only festival he suggested. So this was the only festival he recommended, that would say. Not that he directly said that everybody should celebrate Guru Purnima, no. He only told one devotee, don't you know that today is Guru Purnima? Why don't you go and worship Guru? And he showed a pillar there in the masjid and said that, come with your puja material and worship this pillar. He said. And then they thought, why the karma of worshipping the pillar? The Baba himself is there, the pillar of our spirituality. So he went and started worshipping him. And in one way, Baba's worship also started on the same day. So it is for a Sai devotee, in another way of, it is the beginning. It is an anniversary of the Sai worship, in fact. It's exactly on that day it started, the whole worship. So in that way it is significant to us. సన్యాసులు చాతుర్మాస్య వ్రతాన్ని ఈ రోజుతో మొదలు పెట్టుకొని చేసుకుంటాం. ఈ రోజు అంటే గురు పూర్ణిమ రోజు. నాలుగు నెలలు ఎక్కడికి కదలరు. ఏదో ఒక ఊరు సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటారు. ఆ ఊరికి పోయి అక్కడ గుడారం వేసుకొని అక్కడికి వెళ్తారు. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఆర్భాటంగా జరుగుతుంది, లేదు వేరే విషయం. వర్షాకాలం బయటకు పోలేరు, ఎక్కడికి తిరగలేరు. ఇప్పుడంటే మనకు వర్షాలు అడ్డం రావటం లేదు ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్కి. కానీ ఆ రోజుల్లో వర్షం వచ్చిందంటే విలేజ్ దాటడానికి కూడా అవకాశం లేదు. నా చిన్నప్పుడే అవకాశం ఉండేది కాదు. ఈవెన్ ఇన్ మై బాయ్హుడ్ ఆల్సో, ద రైనీ సీజన్స్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ ఈవెన్ టు గో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద విలేజ్. Small canals, rivulets, streams, everywhere, they will be full. So we can't cross. So till the whole rainy season, we can't move out of the village even. Because now it is changed.
I think in Buddhist countries,
Even when I was studying in my graduation also, we couldn't come from Kota to Vijayanagar. ఇప్పుడు బ్రిడ్జ్ ఉండేది కాదు. ఇప్పుడు now the bridge is constructed. At that time, no, nothing.
you mean there were no bridges then?
Now the bridge is constructed.
Then there were no bridges? Or?
Small low-level bridge was there when the water overflows. It's only for the transport. A bus can go when there is no water. But if the small river, it is in floods, no transport. That is in 1974 the situation was like that. Means how is it when it's time of Buddha in 6th century?
Even now in Buddhist countries they follow the rains retreat, don't they? They go
Yes.
into retreat for this period.
Here also the sannyasis have to follow. But it started with Buddha. The whole tradition of, in fact, in one way or other, the institution of monkhood, the sannyasa, actually is an imitation of the Buddhist tradition. It is nothing like what we see the sannyasa tradition before the time of Buddha. It was in different forms, and it was Shankaracharya who organized and reorganized it rather, and instituted some rules and regulations and everything, and then broadly divided into 10 orders, Dashanami sannyasa, 10 names, sannyasa the 10 names, and then instituted some rules. This particular order, that they had to follow these rules. This particular order, they had to worship this deity, this god, this man, this name should be there, like that. Before that, it was not like that. అప్పటికే కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి. ఆ ప్లాస్టిక్గా ఇట్లా ఉండకాకుండా ఒక రకంగా చెప్పిన మన గ్రామ దేవతలను పూజ చేసే టైప్లో ఒక కల్ట్స్ లాగా ఉండేవి. ఆ కల్ట్స్ ఏ దేవతను పూజ చేస్తున్నారో ఆ దేవతనే అదిగా పెట్టారు. అందుకనే మనకు చాలా దగ్గరలో ఒక రకంగా చెప్పాలంటే ఆ ఊరి విలేజ్ డైటీసే ఉంటారు. శృంగేరి చూసుకో, నిజంగా చెప్పాలంటే విలేజ్ డైటీ అవి. ఆ తర్వాత దానికి హిందూ మంది చేసి శారదా అని పేరు పెట్టారు. పూరిలో అంతే. హిమాలయస్లో ఉంది, జోషిమఠ్లో. What else?
Guruji, Arunachala seems to have some kind of inherent power, and I'm wondering how it has become like that.
Yes, it is a place of great saints. Any holy place becomes holy because of holy men. Those days in the remote past, which is not historically we can grasp, think that there lived a saint, a great saint, whom people almost thought that he is an incarnation, an embodiment of Shiva. And he lived and he took samadhi here. And later many people, it was the Tapokshetra here. Since those days up to the time of Seshadri Swami and Ramana Maharshi. So it is the place of the saints. And to me it is just like how I look at Baba's Samadhi. This is other Samadhi for me. That is what in the Arunachala Purana they call Arunagiri Yogi. A yogi lived there, and there was the tomb is there at the northern peak of the hill. And Ramana Maharshi also once saw that the tree under which that tomb was there, but he couldn't go near it.
He couldn't go.
He couldn't go.
Why?
He said that there's no permission to go.
I see.
Even to Ramana Maharshi there was no permission. And he is called Arunagiri Yogi. A yogi means a saint. And because of the Arunagiri Yogi, this hill has become a holy hill. And because it's so inaccessible, people can't go there to the Samadhi and do pradakshina or worship it. So the whole hill is the Samadhi. Just like in Shirdi that we do Mahapradakshina. Combining Samadhi Mandir, Guguristan, Dwarkamai, people do pradakshina. Like that because people can't go. So the whole hill is the pradakshina. So people started doing pradakshina.
So these holy places become powerful from the people who have become holy there, not in and of themselves.
In a sense, everything is holy, in fact. There's nothing unholy here. Because of the saints' presence, the holiness manifests more at some places, and they are called holy places.
Does that holiness get amplified by the subsequent saints and yogis who were attracted there because of the original Arunagiri yogi? So it becomes more and more.
It will be more and more, channels will be opened. It will be more because Seshadri Swami is there. His presence, his energy, some people can connect with it. Some people can be benefited with it by that. That kind of energy. And Ramana Maharshi is there. There is another one. So that more and more people get connected. Not that it becomes more powerful. More and more people can relate themselves to it.
But is there not some kind of accumulation?
A hospital becomes a super specialty hospital. That's all.
But what about
But people go with only one disease because super specialty is there. People can't utilize all sections. People will go. Before, only those who are suffering from such kind of diseases, they could go there. When super specialty has started, any kind of person can come and it is ready to treat. So slowly they develop into super specialty spiritual centers.
When an atmosphere becomes permeated by the energy of holy people, and we enter that space. How does that energy actually interrelate to our energy to help us?
Just think of your question. A saint's energy and our energy, and there is an interaction between the energies. When you are going in a hot sun, you are in a very hot atmosphere, weather, and how your heat in the body and the heat in the sun, they get interact, and then what effect it will get. It is like that. If at all we call our energy, what we have is lack of energy. And if at all we have allergy, not energy. Allergy to the energy.
Guruji, about the Baba Mandirs, you said they should be open and from all sides, always that Baba is available and everybody can see him and has his darshan. Now we went to Pundi one evening and it was all closed. They locked, and I was surprised that it's iron doors and it's all locked. So is it in the nights not available anymore?
That is why I ask people to go in the daytime.
Because it's in the night. But why do they lock it in the nights?
That is their tradition. Why should we think about it? If we really want to see the statue, we should go when the mandir is open. That is their temple, their wish. They will build it as they like. Don't get these thoughts into the mind. Never, any place, whether it is Tiruvannamalai, Ramanashram or Shirdi, Sai Baba Satsang. Don't get these thoughts of organization enter your mind. That is very dangerous. It is the beginning, the seed of getting our mind involved with politics. And I never said that Baba Mandir should be open. No, I didn't say that. Why am I to say how Baba Mandir should be? I said, if anybody asks me how it, I like it like this. Those who listen to me, they build it like that. Some people, they do it in another way. That's their wish. Even in Shirdi, it is closed. You can't see Baba in the night. What else? It's simple. Go ahead in the morning, and if you really want to see him, stay there till 10 o'clock in the evening. Come happily see and come back.
Guruji, why does the Supreme make it so difficult to know him?
Supreme. It sounds so much like that. In mafia and these things, Supreme number 1, number 2. Then they say Supreme. I'm so simply joking. Go ahead.
There's so much sadness and suffering in the world. I mean, you'd think that supposing the Lord wanted just a few points, I mean, it doesn't have to really make it like 40%, but I mean, it could be just little, something toward the... I mean,
the one thing is there is there in the whole universe which God hasn't made and He can't make is sorrow. That is not His making, this is our making. He has limitation. I always think that. Yes, that the so-called Supreme also has a supreme limitation. It's a weakness.
Guruji, doesn't the Upanishad say that he created us so that our senses go outward?
Upanishad said that
So
he created.
Is that
Upanishad
he
said
also
he
not
created it.
responsible for that? I mean, in other words, we are created in his
Then you
image.
have to
no?
go and read Upanishads again. Upanishad said that there is no happiness and there is no sorrow at all. And the Brahman is all there like Brahman. He is the embodiment of bliss.
the Upanishads
And the Ajnana only that you observe that. It is the experience. Upanishads, if at all you go to Upanishads, in the Upanishads there is nothing like that. The Brahman is absolute bliss, Satchidananda.
Yeah, but we don't necessarily.
It is what I am saying, that you don't see it. It is not God's making. You can't see it. It is your inability. It is your own, your attitude towards the world and yourself and how you relate to the world. Don't think of Brahman. It is too much for us. But the world, Brahman hasn't done anything for us. He is not giving us happiness. He is not giving us unhappiness. He is somewhere else. He is doing his own job. Let him, leave him to his own job. Why we are getting this unhappiness is
That's what
because
I'm
of the world here. Where is Brahman and Supreme has come? There is no Supreme here. We don't have access to the Supreme. In our own arena, we are creating our own troubles. And the same thing, why it is I am saying it is only your creation is, the same thing which is so troubling for you may not be so troubling to the other. If it is trouble, it should be trouble to everybody.
With that also I don't understand.
That is what I am saying. This is nothing to understand there. It is your own attitude towards it. It is only your own personal. How you relate to it. So the sorrow and the so-called happiness, they are relative. And the Supreme is beyond all the relatives. So he can't do it. If he does anything in the relative plane, he is not absolute, he is not supreme. Of course, let us not go into that Vedanta. I am not good at Vedanta. First, let us think what we are, what we have, where from our sorrowness is coming. Is it coming from the so-called Ajnana, not able to realize the Brahman, not able to realize the self, or not knowing who am I? Definitely, most of our problems are not connected to any of these things. They are connected to small things. We don't get a room here. It's very hot. And this man scolded me. This man talked in an offending manner. These things only that makes us unhappy. And we don't have money. Or if we have money, how to save the money and how to protect the money. These things. Where is this Brahman and Atma and I and self? This is connected to our sorrowness. Is anybody unhappy because that they haven't realized it themselves? They do not know who you are? Ramana Maharshi was unhappy. So his happiness came from knowing that. Let us not imitate him. Let us confine ourselves to this. Where lies our sorrow, our sadness? Let us tackle the problem at our level, practically, pragmatically, down to the earth.
But there is some truth in it. Like, I remember one time I have been asking you for something, and you said, "Oh, I would have given you much more," and I realized my own incapability to see it. So even if you give it, if I cannot see it, what is the help of it? So I have to ask you further on to also please
Because
make
we
me
put
see
limitations
it.
on it. That is the answer which I gave to you. The whole satsang started with that. You think 1 month at one trip, 2 months in a year, good, happy. If it is more than that, the same thing which started giving us happiness, it starts giving us unhappiness also. So we have our limitations. Not that I can't give you even 3 months vacation, I can give, but you can't enjoy it. That is what I said.
So what can I do on my side?
Nothing.
If I have nothing. That's what I say. So you also
Enjoy these 2
help
months.
me to make it
Before
more.
you didn't have these 2 months, your mind can go up to 2 months. So now you can enjoy 2 months. Once you started really enjoying the 2 months, then naturally, if at all it is needed, then you yourself start craving for more. Then when it is asked, then it will be given. But if I now were to give prematurely, no use. You can't enjoy it. One thing is there, Baba is not giving anything to anybody means not because of any reason. We can't enjoy it, even if he gives. That which we can enjoy, which we can experience fully, that he will definitely give. Nothing stops him. He is always anxious to give us more, more, more. In other words, in his way of saying, he said that my treasury is open. I am asking people, come and take cartloads of happiness. But nobody is coming.
That's what I mean, Guruji. So, whose responsibility is that? Why should it be so? Things be so tight around happiness?
That is the wonderful thing which even the Upanishads couldn't solve. Why it is like that?
Yes, right.
Why you people are not going means because they have their own concept of happiness. People have their own abstract sense of happiness.
We have our own concept of happiness.
That is what I always say, an abstract sense of fulfillment. And everything that we do is always connected to that abstract sense of fulfillment. We are everybody is trying to concretize in their own way. Money, politics, relationships, house, property, business, everything. What are all these things? They are a way of our own way of trying to concretize. And this is one way. This is also one of the ways of concretizing. People that who have tasted a little bit of some happiness here, around here, not fully, just a taste, a fringes of it, a glimpses of it, then they give an idea. Oh, then this is also beautiful. This is also wonderful. Let us try to concretize it. But the other pulls are, the other concepts are also there. They won't leave us so easily, those patterns. So they try to put limitations on that. Because theoretically we agree that this is the happiness. Theoretically we agree with Baba that what Baba has in his treasure is the happiness. We simply accept it theoretically, but really we don't accept it. He thinks that it is his treasury, but I don't think so. We have certain other things also, which give us happiness. So let us try this. And let us also go and get whatever that we want from the treasury also. It's also good. We should have a balanced life. Baba is good, world is good, relationships are good, business is good, money is good. Everything is giving 10%, 1%, 5% happiness. And all together they give us 60% happiness. Good. That is how man lives.
Then what about the remaining 40%? Where is that?
He can't get it. At that remaining 40%, that drives him to get how we can get that full happiness, that 100% happiness. Then he comes to a Sadguru, where he gets a glimpse that without depending upon any of these means, that he can get 100%. Because all the other things have an inherent dependency on them. But here, the dependency is less. without any reason, without doing anything, without any obvious reason, that your mind is happy, calm, composed, full of satisfactions coming inside. Where from it is coming? It is something unfamiliar. Then he starts from there. There he can get 100%. Why he can't get that 100% there is because each other pull will be having a contradictory influence on that. Somebody wants to do business, he wants a family, relationship, this thing. He wants to do more and more. The wife will object. What is that every time that you are going for business? Stay for some time at home. So there is a clash again. He can't give it up because he wants wife also. How can he balance it? So he can't get 100% there, he can't put 100% in the family. Because if he stays at home, he can't get money. If he wants to get only money, he loses the family. How? So the balance. The balance means a compromise. 40%, 60%. 60%, 40%. Percentages will come. Like that, there are hundreds of pulls in us. Because I'm only giving you some examples. Hundreds of pulls in the body. And they pull us from different directions. And the man who finds where that there is only one pull, which not depending upon any other things, that can give you 10% happiness, then he starts here. In this, with the Sadguru. That Baba experienced, and he thinks that his treasury has that capacity of giving you 100%. But we don't see that. You say, because of out of respect, we say, I accept it. Baba said means, yes, it's okay. But we don't want.
What needs to happen so we can see that? What needs to happen so we can see that?
Nothing needs to happen if you can see it. If you can see even now happening, every minute something is happening which you can see. You are not seeing it. Not that something will happen which makes you see it. No. If you can see even now at this moment.
The things are in the way of.
Not in the way, it's always surrounded, everywhere. Everything tells you that. There is no need for something to happen. It's always happening, and at some moment we see it, and we think because of that we see it. A Buddha saw an old man, a deceased man, and the legend says that because of that something happened in him. It's not true. People would have seen so many things before, but at that time the mind doesn't see it. At that time he sees it.
But Guruji, even if we see it, there seems to be some limit. We seem to be under the influence of some uncontrollable power, some kind of...
no power. Even if any power is there, that power will always try to drive you away from this.
Yes.
But it is our power.
It's the
It
power.
is our power.
I'm saying of conditioning.
Conditioning. That is what I am saying. It is our conditioning only. Because we like the conditioning.
We seem to be subject to influences that we can't control, that are beyond our control. Even if we see it, even if we understand it, and we can explain it theoretically, it doesn't seem necessarily to transform our lives. There seems to be some, as though we're under the influence of some power of our social conditioning or conditioning from our families that gives us our abstract idea of fulfillment that we are trying to achieve, the concretization of that, and still being unhappy. But even if we understand the causes for that, we seem to be powerless to some extent to truly overcome it. At least
if we really realize that we are really powerless, we don't try to overcome it. The moment if you stop overcoming it, you are free from the trouble. You know something is there which you can't control, beyond our control. And when you really know that they are beyond your control, why you have to try to control it?
That's profound.
So it is our, That is a delusion. Even though that we see something that we can't control, but we try to control it.
We seem to have no choice. I mean, that is to say,
It appears as if there is no choice, but the very choice is don't try. Don't accept the failure, but simply don't try to overcome it.
but that means being free of preferences. Another way of looking at that is that's an enormous achievement to do that. It's
That is
it's
why
so
I said,
rare.
yes. That is the way to free from the conditioning. Because the conditioning is not your inability to control it. The conditioning is your very effort to control it, is the conditioning.
Yes. Even in trying to not to do it, I'm still, you can't seem to escape it. I mean, habits of mind are what I'm thinking of. And even if those are relieved temporarily through devotion.
We accept that we can't drink the whole ocean. It's not possible. We don't try. We are not unhappy about that. If somebody is unhappy sitting at the beach and saying, see, I can't drink the whole water. No, because they accept it real. Like that, you accept everything. No problem there. But it's not possible. It's only theoretical thing again. So the real conditioning is not our incapacity and helplessness, our trying again and again to control, to condition, to reform.
As long as I'm unhappy, I have to do that.
Your unhappiness comes because of your effort. That is the problem.
Yes.
You can't stop yourself doing it, trying and trying. You can't stop trying.
That is the problem. That is if you stop trying it, the problem is over.
Yeah, if you could stop
If you can succeed, yes, it's okay. But you know you can't succeed.
Yeah.
But still you try.
Yeah.
But life itself seems to conspire against us in just accepting helplessness. We're forced to act, whether we wish to or not. We have to pay.
What I
our
am
bills,
trying
we
to
have
do is trying to tell you is the helplessness is not in the result of what you are trying to overcome. Your helplessness, real helplessness, lies in overcoming your pattern of trying to do it. There you are really helpless.
Right. That's my point. Also, Guruji, there seems to be some power that's greater than the individual that keeps us bound. I guess the Vedantins would call that's ignorance. That's their word for it. We're trying to conceptualize that.
But that is the same power which they say, which always tries to make you experience the absolute also.
I'm sorry?
To experience it, to feel, to free you from that.
Yes.
It is the same power again.
Right.
So how is it possible? The same power trying to bind you and the same power is trying to free you. Either one of the things should be true. Either it is trying to free us or bind us.
Whether it's doing the one or the other, my point is that it doesn't seem to be under my control. I don't seem to be able to.
That is quite obvious. Now we are saying about them because we accepted it. Somebody is doing it. It's not my fault. Why I haven't become a Ramana Maharshi means it is not my fault. It is Ramana Maharshi's fault. Because he is binding me, he is keeping me like this. But Ramana Maharshi says, I am always anxious to make you realize, to make you just like me, he is saying. Either you should be telling a lie, or you should be telling a lie.
Laughter is great.
Huh?
He said laughter is great.
There's a solace in that.
So the power always tries to free us, but something of our own individual self, of our own conditioning, we are not able to see and utilize it. It is not the fault of it.
But it doesn't seem to be my fault either. It doesn't seem
It is
to
your
be fair
fault.
that we should suffer.
It is your fault. If at all you call it fault, it's not. In fact, it is not fault. It is your conditioning. That's all. Don't blame.
Am I responsible for my conditioning?
Who is responsible for your conditioning?
My mother and father, or whatever. My society, the way the world is. Why it should? All right.
So if you get realized, it is not your credit. If you have written something and if you have done something, it is not your credit.
That's
It is the
right.
society, it is your father and mother. So you don't have any responsibility at all. When you don't have any responsibility, really if you feel that you don't have any responsibility, you are the happiest person.
Yes, that's right.
But it is not true because you are saying that you are suffering a lot. So you are not realizing your own statement. Just stick to your statement, you are free from all the problems. So you think that you are the responsible. That is why you are thinking. You are responsible for everything. To set the house, to put a cushion, to set the house, where to put the book and where to put the glass. Everything, you are responsible for that. You have to see that everything should be perfect. It is your responsibility.
That's what you're saying.
No, I am not saying. It's you are saying. If you don't say it, if you are not responsible, then you are free.
I would like to feel that. I haven't got the courage.
Or if you think you are responsible, then try to overcome it. In either way.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
If you are, so
That's
you
what
are
I'm
coming to
doing.
my point. So you are responsible for your conditioning. Don't blame anybody. Nobody is
No,
responsible for
because
that.
that's-
And so you have to try.
That's true. Right. That's why I'm here. It's paradoxical, Guruji.
Bruni, did you just say that our effort to overcome our conditioning is what binds us? Is that what you said?
Except surrender, the effort to surrender.
You didn't say that.
But isn't that what you mean, Guruji? That effort, what she said, the very effort that we make to overcome our conditioning is what binds us, except if that effort is in the direction of surrendering. I mean, at your feet, realizing our helplessness and making the effort toward giving up the idea that we can do it. That also takes a kind of effort, no?
I didn't say any of the words. That is your bhashya. I only said the sutra and you gave a bhashya.
No change will take place if you just go with the stream. If it's like a fruit rolling down a plane.
What I said is, if you really realize that
You're saying make effort.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say make effort. Your effort is fruitless. If you realize the futility of your effort, there is enough. Or if you think your effort is good, do the effort. In either way. Where people are getting confused is, if they want to do effort, they'll say that nothing is in my effort. Everything should be grace. What can I do? Baba has to do it. If they really realize that if Baba is the doer for everything, then there is no unhappiness also. But we don't see it like that. We want to do it some things.
But we still have to put ourselves out to dry.
So do it. Do everything also. So I actually subscribe to the latter view. Do the effort. Realizing that the limitations of your efforts. No problem.
So we have to suffer. There doesn't seem to be any way.
Suffer.
Well, as long as the effort is not 100%, whatever that is that relieves the suffering, then there will always be attached to that making of effort a degree of suffering. Yeah, it can't help it. But that doesn't mean that it's not.
The problem here is the so-called effort also becomes suffering to us.
Yeah.
So we want to avoid that suffering, and so we don't do the effort.
That's right. Yeah, I want an easy time of it.
That is why they call it tapas. Self-torture. Oh my God, we can't do that. So we need effort in order to get happiness, but the very effort is very unhappy, the suffering itself. So we don't do the effort, and the suffering will be there. And so in order to do the suffering again, we have to do it. It's a chain reaction again. It's a circle. Many problems will be solved if you just think of one thing. If you realize, if you accept the very bare truth.
Many things will
One
be
thing
solved.
is how transient, how temporary, how short our life is. Everybody knows that, but nobody realizes it. They do everything as if it is going to be permanent. What happens to all this? There is any truth, an iota of truth in the sense of permanence? If anybody can realize that, at least most of the problems, his attitude towards the whole life changed. But we do things as if we are going to be permanent, and they are going to be permanent, and the things are going to be permanent. How far, how long? To many of us, almost 75% of our span has already over. Still we haven't realized it. We think as if that we have 100 more or even 1,000 more. And in what way that these things are going to stay and contribute to our happiness or unhappiness, those things which we normally fret and fume. That is why I always tell people, especially those who get so much entangled in this politics, institutional politics, money, so much worrying about money, satsangs, organizing satsangs, getting into that politics. I always ask, there is a poem in the Telugu translation of Bhagavata. కారే రాజులు రాజ్యముల్ గల్గవే వారేరి శ్రీ ముఠంగట్టుకుని పొవంగజాలరే. Always remember that. There are so many kings who ruled big empires. Where are they? Have they when going, that they took away, they packed the whole empire and went away? It is, where are they? In spite of seeing and studying the whole history, still you are thinking that you are going to be permanent. Maybe that is why that I like history as my favorite subject. Because it tells me the impermanence, the transient nature. To me it is just like a Veda, a Upanishad, a Purana, a spiritual treaty, the whole history. What else will teach us the impermanence of the whole life, more than history? But still we do it. Just to think of it. What else? In this short span of time, we create so many problems. Problems in relationships, problems with people, fight with one another. Trying to pull up, amass as much money, wealth, properties. Buying lands, building houses, looking at them as if that is their creations, attached to them. And where are they? All these balances of money. somebody will enjoy it. Is it really needed? Is it really wise? To me, more than anything else, the remembrance, the awareness of this bare truth. No scriptures are needed, no guru is needed for this to tell you the truth. It is so bare, yawning on our face, the truth. Just see that and see how your attitude towards different things in our world, to people, to things, to attitude to our own personality, it changes. How much we are wasting our time. Can you get back? Don't waste time. Especially in unhappy pursuits. I'm not saying that don't waste your time and then try to completely dedicate yourself to Baba. No, I'm not saying it. At least try to be happy, whatever your concept of happiness. Just simply ignore the other things. Just like you want to leave India in 2 or 3 days, and then how you feel? Oh, let us have a satsang, let us have a buddhi, let us have this, let us enjoy it as much as possible, because we are leaving. But our whole trip of our life, we are not thinking of it. This is already scheduled. What about that? We are not worrying about that.
And often, I think one can see one's pettiness and how one gets caught up in very stupid and silly things. And on one level one knows it and one wants to get rid of it, but at the same time one is so powerless in shifting that. You say that if you really see it, then it will shift, but...
I would put it the other way around. Instead of saying that how could I put in this amidst the stupid things, what I would say is how I could be a stupid amidst so many beautiful and wise things.
Say that again.
Things are not stupid. It is the other way around.
Okay. Take some time before it drops down.
What else is needed? Beautiful. Baba has given us so much. What else anybody can dream of? The feet of Arunachala, Ramana, Seshadri, Pundi. What any the so-called spiritual seeker can think of? But are we seeing those things? And we are all remaining amidst these beautiful and wonderful things as stupid? Not that we are amidst stupid things. We are the stupid among beautiful things.
It was implied, it wasn't really meaning that things around were stupid.
Things by themselves, they are not stupid at all. We make them stupid. We have that capacity. Yes, we enjoy this. See the positiveness of it. In spite of this, it's given us so many people who don't have food even to eat. But Baba has given us nothing to worry about our food, stay, nice clothing, all the needs are fulfilled. Comforts, luxuries are there. We can offer it. But in spite of that, why are we crying? Why are we sad? And lamenting about everything. Is there any reason? nobody who has so far come to me with a real problem, which really makes. If anybody comes, I don't have food. Yes, there is a problem. Nothing, something. That man is sitting by my side. I don't like him. That is my problem. What can I do about that? My problem is this man. I don't like him. For many of us, the problems are these kind of problems. We create and we can't keep quiet. And we fret and flown. We want money, yes, money is given. Then problem, how to save this money. In which bank we have to put it? Which bank gives us more interest? Okay, can I touch the bank? So fear again, insecurity. Something happens to the bank? Oh my God. How reliable the government of India? May tomorrow become bankrupt? So, yes, bank. But the interest is less there. So, this is better. We'll be thinking like this, creating problems. Where are we really enjoying the life which Baba has given you?
But that's the suffering that one cannot
And
stop.
if at all these things, how much that we are going to gain? Maybe 100 rupees. And all our efforts about months and months of thinking, planning, studying, consulting and all these things, we earn 100 rupees. Penny wise and pound foolish. Try to appreciate, enjoy the life. Beautiful Baba has given. He is embodiment of grace. I see everybody in you, that how Baba has placed you, has put you, what Baba has given you. And my only complaint is, you're not enjoying it. I'm not asking you to do any sadhana, any tapas. If you want more, I will give you more. Enjoy it, what has been given. What else? ఇద్దరు వచ్చారా మరి ఇద్దరే వచ్చారా ఏంటమ్మా మీరేం చెప్తారా
Guruji, I have devotion for you and I have devotion for Baba, and I always experience it as opposite. What can I do that it's for me a whole thing? How can I integrate it? How can I dissolve this system?
What system?
It's the opposite system. So I feel this so separated. Here I am, here you are, here is Baba, there is Baba, and here I am. How can I bring it together?
How you are doing, bringing it together? You want to bring it more?
Yes.
It will come. The more you desire, it will come. But if it given more, as I told you, you can't. You are practicing weightlifting. You can lift up 150 kgs. But your goal is to lift 250 kgs. But if I give you 250 because you want it, you can't lift even 1 kg. చాలా తక్కువ రోజుల్లో జరిగింది గురుస్థానం. తర్వాత శ్రీరామనవమి కింద మారిపోయింది. 2 సంవత్సరాలు 3 సంవత్సరాలు జరిగింది. తర్వాత శ్రీరామనవమి కింద కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోయింది.
సాయిపదంలో కొత్తగా లాస్ట్ టైం ఆర్టికల్స్లో ఇక్కడ బాబా ఎవరి కోసం ఎందుకు
ఆయన తన యొక్క గురువు సమాధి వేప చెట్టు కింద ఉంది అన్నాడు. ఉరుసు ఎందుకు చేస్తారని అంటే, ఉరుసు అంటే ఆరాధనోత్సవం. ఇప్పుడు విజయదశమి మనం ఎలా చేస్తామో పుణ్యతిథి లాగా అనమాట. ముస్లిం సాంప్రదాయంలో ఉరుసు అంటే పుణ్యతిథి, ద డెత్ యానివర్సరీ ఆఫ్ ఎ సెయింట్. బాబా అడిగినప్పుడు ఉరుసు చేయండి అన్నాడు. ఎక్కడ చేయమని ఉండాలి ఆయన నా గురుస్థానం ఇది, నా గురువు ఇది అంటున్నాడు కనుక ఆయన సమాధి జనరల్గా సమాధి దగ్గర చేస్తారు ఉరుసు, సెయింట్స్ యొక్క సమాధి దగ్గర. కాబట్టి గురుస్థానంలో జరిగి ఉండాలి మొదటి రోజు. నిజానికి చెప్పాలంటే గురుస్థానము ద్వారకామైంది 2 నీకు మనసులో వేడివిడిగా ఉన్నాయి తప్పితే, ఒక్కసారి సాటేవాడ మిగతా గోళ్ళని తీసేసి చూడు 2 ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ. నవ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ అవర్ డివిజన్ దట్ ద్వారకామాయ్, గురుస్థాన్ అండ్ సమాధి మందిర్. బట్ జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్ ద డేస్ ఆఫ్ బాబా where there are no walls at all there. There is nothing like where something happened. It's all one compound. Not even just 100 feet. So it doesn't matter whether it happened at Gurusthan or Dwarkamai. It would have happened in Gurusthan because that is what Baba said. He's asking where the first Ursu would have been celebrated. Naturally it would have been at the Gurusthan, because Baba said there was his Guru's tomb. And Ursu in Muslim tradition is the death anniversary of a saint, usually celebrated at his tomb, Dargah, they call it Dargah. So it was Baba's Guru's Dargah, the neem tree. So it would have performed there. చాలా మందికి ఉరుసు అంటే ఏంటి తెలియకపోవటం వల్ల వస్తుంది. ఉరుసు అంటే డెత్ యానివర్సరీ చాలా మందికి తెలియదు.
When you have spoken in the past about the state of completion, you use the word fulfillment. Others, when they speak about that state, might use the word realization or awakening or enlightenment or something. When I think of the term of fulfillment, what comes to mind is being filled with love, being perhaps in a state of love. When I think of the terms of enlightenment or realization and so on, I think of them as being awakening to a truth or realizing whatever it might be, but there seems to be some, for me in my mind, some difference between what they speak about, realizing knowledge. What I really want to understand is what is the relationship between love, which you speak about in the fulfillment, and, for example, the knowledge, the light of knowledge that is implied by the other term. They're obviously pointing to the same thing, and yet for me knowledge seems to be in some way different to love. What is the relationship between love and knowledge?
In love we experience happiness, the contentment, we enjoy it, and the knowledge is dry. And if anybody wants to get knowledge, if at all, he also does it because it gives him happiness, not simply because of the knowledge.
But the state itself, the state that it points to, when you speak, you use the term.
It is his love of knowledge which drives him to acquire knowledge, isn't it?
But in that state of completion, the state of completion implies being full of knowledge. You use the term fulfillment, which is full of.
When he is full of knowledge, when his love is satiated, yes, now it's enough, I have full knowledge, isn't it? When he doesn't feel more for that, then it is complete. So what is he experiencing is a happiness only. And the love connotes that, our personal emotion to it. That is why I stress this side more. Everybody wants happiness, jnana, self-realization, because they want to be happy, free from some misery. If I tell you knowledge is so great, wonderful, truth is so wonderful, truth is God, but if you know the truth, you will be miserable. Do you want that truth? No. If I say, if you know the truth, you will be happy, full of bliss, then yes, I want that. It is that element of bliss, happiness, that fulfillment, with which that you can relate, because that is what you are lacking. That is what you want. That's something missing, which I usually tell you, which we always be trying to groping for, is that happiness. So it is the element of happiness which everybody can relate and has to relate. There is no other way. Otherwise, so much knowledge is there. Who is caring for it? It's not the knowledge. If anybody is doing it, it is because that knowledge gives them happiness.
When I'm thinking of the term knowledge, I'm thinking of understanding, really, or insight.
Whatever it is, not because of the understanding. Why we have to get understanding? If you understand more, you will be more miserable when you will try to understand things. I prefer not understanding. It's not even the understanding.
Why should understanding make you more miserable?
It may not. It may give also. Maybe you are under illusion about somebody, and you are happy and you love him. And if you understand him better, you may be miserable. So otherwise you don't understand. Don't try to understand.
Don't they say ignorance is bliss? No greater
That's
understanding
it.
can
Like
give-
that, ignorance is
definitely
bliss.
gives suffering. Yeah.
So maybe we do not know. I'm not saying that it gives, but what attracts you, what pulls you is the happiness.
Even in knowledge, I think the attraction is the bliss of understanding. The bliss
So what I have
comes
said,
from
so the love of
understanding.
knowledge.
And that can often be a substitute for the experience of what is understood.
But then, in the final complete state, love and knowledge must be the same thing.
Yes, they're the same thing.
I mean, when they're the same thing.
There's only two ways of looking at the same thing. There are not two, in fact.
You mean they're basically qualities?
Qualities. In fact, not even the qualities. It is the difference in expression. That's all.
Why not qualities, Guruji? I mean, if I speak
Because the basic quality is happiness.
Uh-huh.
But how people express it is in a different way. Some people say that we want realization, we want to have the knowledge, jnana. Some people will say that Baba is the embodiment of jnana and I want Baba. If Ivan has come with 20 cups of tea, and then somebody say, give me some tea, somebody will say. Somebody will say, give me 1 cup, he will say. And if she threw away the tea and then give me the cup, doesn't mean the cup. The meaning is, somebody say cup and somebody says tea. Somebody says jnana and somebody says the one who has the jnana. That's all. It's only the difference of expression.
Guruji, I believe tonight is Purnima. I wanted to know, did Baba in Shirdi, was there any Purnima that Baba observed? Was that a holy day for him on in any month? No. And Guru Purnima also? Not.
Guru Purnima is according to the Hindu tradition, Hindu and Buddhist traditions. It is the day of which marks the worship of a guru. This is all the Guru tradition. He asked somebody to worship his Guru. That's all. He didn't ask everybody that we should celebrate Guru Purnima. No. And people took it because Baba was the form of a Sadguru. So that they started celebrating Guru Purnima. Indirectly, it was one that Baba suggested and recommended, but not directly. And that is not this Purnima, that is in July.
Didn't you say, Guruji, before that it originally started with this Purnima?
All this history, there is no what is the use. Actually, the tradition of the custom of Guru Purnima started with the Buddhists. Actually, this Vaishakha Purnima is the origin. After Shankaracharya's era, people started adopting many of the Buddhist customs, traditions, and festivals into the Hindu tradition. And so the Guru Purnima came. And mainly it was, in the beginning it was meant for the monks. This Vaishakha Purnima is also for the monks. Because in those days, in the 6th century BC, in the rainy season it was not possible for the monks to go from village to village. The transportation was...
Sai Baba, 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 Sai Baba,
గురుదేవా, ఏ సుకృతము చేసుకున్నాము, మీ చరణ కమలాల చెంత మాకింత చోటు దొరక. ఏ పురాణేతిహాసాల అధ్యయనం చేశాము, మీ పావననామము తలుచుకొన. ఏ సుజ్ఞానముల సారము జీర్ణించుకున్నాము, మీ సుమనోహర మోము చూడ. ఏ వేదమంత్రముల పారాయణ దీవించే మీ అనుగ్రహ భాషణము వీణుల చేర. ఏ సమున్నత దైవకార్యములు చేశాము, సర్వాంతర్యామి అయిన మీ స్పర్శమము తాక. ఏ సత్పథముల బాట నడిచాము, మీ అడుగుజాడలు అనుసరించా. ఎన్ని జన్మముల ఏ తపములాచరించాము, అతి పవిత్రమైన మీ పాదధూళి మా తలనిడ. మమతానుబంధమా, మహితానుబంధమా, శ్రీ సాయి మాతృత్వ కరుణానుబంధమా.
श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथुनि शरद बाबू जी की जय।